Welcome to News Flakes on Signature TV. I'm Charles Pius. The organized labor in Nigeria on Monday made good its threats to embark on a nationwide strike with activities in all parts of the country almost grounded. In Enugu State, labor leaders went round various offices to monitor compliance and enforce the strike. The state secretariat is currently under lock. The team was at the Ministry of Lands where they chased out workers who were there before locking the gate. And elsewhere, the strike action was also visible at the Akanubiam International Airport, Enugu, as normal flight operations were disrupted by NLC members. Comrade Isaac Enyili, a national officer of the National Union of Air Transport Employer and representative Aviation Union, Enugu, who spoke to Signature TV, said they decided to embark on an indefinite strike following federal government's non-acceptance of NLC's demand of 421,000 naira minimum wage against the initial 600,000 naira the union proposed on Friday night. Currently, passengers at the Akanubiam International Airport were not allowed as the airport was barricaded by the labor leaders. The team led by Comrade Isaac Ayili insisted that the non-compliance by governments to the recent NLC proposed minimum wage of 421,000 led to the strike, insisting that labor would yield to reasonable dialogue if federal government comes up with a reasonable minimum wage. And elsewhere, the Anambra State Secretariat, ORCA, and other government offices were also deserted as a result of the NLC declared nationwide strike action. Signature TV correspondent Ndu Obaleze, who was at the Jerome Udorj State Secretariat, ORCA, reports that as at 9:30 a.m. this morning, most offices were still under lock and key. However, some ministries that were open as either the commissioner or permanent secretary with few staff on the ground. Same was the case at the Ebele Okeke's Federal Secretariat, adjacent to State Secretariat, where top-level manpower were seen around. But the story was different in the education sector, as most public and private schools visited before 9 o'clock were all busy with academic or sporting activities. There was nothing in the schools to show that the strike was holding. The West African Examinations Council has appealed to the organized labor to consider students sitting for the West African Senior Secondary Certificate Examination as it plans an indefinite strike. The head of National Office of WAEC, Dr. Amos Dangot, made the appeal in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, on Sunday in Lagos. He said that the council shared the concerns of the organized labor and those of the entire Nigerian workers, as most of WAEC's employees in Nigeria are members of the Nigerian Labour Congress or Trade Union Congress, both of which called for the strike scheduled to start on Monday. The national grid has been shut down as a result of the ongoing strike by the NLC. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, in a statement by the General Manager, Public Affairs, Ndidimba, informed the general public that the labor union has shut down the national grid, resulting in blackout nationwide. The national grid shutdown, according to the statement, occurred at about 2:19 a.m. Monday, 3rd of June, 2024. The Benin transmission operator under the Independent System Operations Unit of the Transmission Company of Nigeria also reported that all operators were driven away from the control room and the staff that resisted were beaten up, while some were wounded in the course of forcing them out of the control room. Other transmission substations that were shut down by the labor union include the Gammo, Bene, Ayede, Olulushogo, Akamba, Oshobo transmission substations. The Nigerian Senate has urged the federal government to continue the payment of 35,000 naira wage award to workers following the yet-to-be-concluded negotiations on minimum wage. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, said this at the end of a 4-hour closed-door meeting with leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress and some ministers over planned industrial action by the union. Akpabio also appealed to the union to shelve the proposed strike action in the interest of Nigerians and the nation. And elsewhere, Bright Ngene of the Labour Party has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to send a new team to conduct the June 8th rerun election for the Enugu South Urban Constituency. Ngene, who was the LP candidate in the 2023 general election, said he had lost confidence in the resident electoral commissioner in Enugu State, Mr. Chukwuemeka Chukwu, and Enugu South electoral officer, Mr. Francis Chibu, in conducting the rerun. The LP candidate made the call in a press conference held on Sunday in Enugu State. And on the foreign scene, Mexico's outgoing president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, hailed the election of his ruling party's candidate, Claudia Sheinbaum, on Monday. Sheinbaum won Mexico's presidential election according to the INE Electoral Institute's rapid sample count released Sunday night. Sheinbaum, who has convincingly led in opinion polls, excuse me, Sheinbaum, who has convincingly led in opinion polls over her main competitor, Xochitl Galvez, will be tested with confronting organized crime, violence, and reviving a sluggish economy. Indian shares set records. The rupee gained and bonds yields dropped on Monday, June 3rd opening trade as exit polls pointed to a third term and sizable mandate for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with investors eyeing public spending to maintain economic momentum. Weekend exit polls projected the National Democratic Alliance (NDA), led by Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party, to increase its 303 seats in the 543-member lower house and likely to get two-thirds majority, enough to initiate amendments to the constitution. Hundreds of millions of European Union citizens will be able to vote on June 6 to 9 to choose the 720 members of the next European Parliament, which, together with EU government, it decides on laws that govern policies and the EU market. A wide range of voters of different ages and backgrounds who spoke to Reuters in the weeks leading to the election named the environment and climate change, the cost of living and poverty, and defense and security as their top concerns, as well as frustration with EU bureaucracy. According to members cited by the European Parliament, the fight against poverty and social exclusion are main issues on the minds of voters and sight of the upcoming European elections. And that's News Flakes this hour. I'm Charles Pius. Thanks for watching. Good day.